Hi, my name is Mike Stone. I'm going to be talking about Twin Peaks: The Return, episode 16. And it went by so fast. I mean, a couple of months went by, but it felt like it was just a couple of days that we began watching the new Twin Peaks. It feels like just yesterday that I heard it was being announced, a couple of years ago, but it's already here and it's already almost over. We only have one more week left. And this is the next to last week we have of Twin Peaks, and it's really strange to think that. But of course, with Twin Peaks, you can watch it over and over and over again and still get an amazing amount of interaction with the content, unlike most television. But anyway, episode 16 I thought was fantastic. We spent quite a bit of time here with Dougie, and I have to start out with I have to burst out here and just say, he is gone. Dougie Coop is gone. He is 100% gone. The electricity finally did it, and he's gone. Now, sadly, we only get 2 hours, 2.5 hours, if we count this episode in the next double part, with the original Dale Cooper. But Dougie is gone, and I am so, so happy for that. He is finally out of the picture, and we have the good old Dale back. I mean, I know a lot of people have been giving me shit for hating on Dougie, but that just felt so irritating after so long. And it is interesting to kind of resist seeing Dale Cooper for episode after episode after episode. It makes it a little more meaningful and special to just get him back at this late in the day. It really feels like, whoa, we finally have him back. It feels more special somehow. But I'm really reminded of the fact that one of the reasons that I loved the show was because of Dale Cooper, my favorite TV character ever. And we're only going to get Dale for 2 episodes now. Apparently that electricity thing where he stuck a fork in the electrical outlet last time, that brought him back, finally. He is now Dougie no more. He is Dale Cooper once again, and he says his goodbyes, and he brings the Mitchum brothers along as his sort of semi-gangster criminal buddies along with him, who's going to try to turn good, and he says his goodbyes to Naomi Watts and his little son. And it's just a wonderful moment. I actually was clapping and cheering when I saw this moment of of Dale finally returning after all this bloody time. He really just had to stick his fork in that electrical outlet, and that was it. All of the theories about him needing his shoes or he's missing something or not having something, those kind of went out the window. He really just needed to put a fork in the electrical outlet. That's all he needed to do, I guess. But anyway, we're going to be seeing more Dale next week, and I am overjoyed at that. It was absolutely great to get him back. And now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the rest of the episode. We also get to spend some time in the Las Vegas setting with the two assassins that were sent by Evil Cooper, Jennifer Jason Leigh, with Tim Roth, and they're just being sort of scummy, unpleasant people, shoveling fast food down their throat, and just being sort of like the unexamined life. And that seems to be a motif that comes up also with Evil Cooper, when he says he only needs things, he only wants things, excuse me. He doesn't need anything. He just wants. They're trying to show these sort of animalistic people, these very base, primitive, low kind of people as the bad guys. And these sort of unexamined, the unexamined life. They don't look at what their life means or anything. They're just idiots. They're ignoramuses, and they're proud of it. And they just shovel horrible food in their face. And but anyway, they're sitting outside of Dougie's house in a van, and they get involved in this actually amusing and ridiculous exchange with this, I think, Polish or Russian guy who goes up behind them, and they're parked in front of his driveway, and he pulls out a machine pistol and sprays bullets at them and kills them. It's pretty interesting and a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. We also get a sequence with Evil Cooper. He and Richard Horne, who we saw get together in the last episode, are going out looking for the mysterious location out in the woods of Twin Peaks where they've been finding these coordinate numbers for all of this time. And apparently they go there to this weird, desolate spot out in the middle of nowhere where there's this giant rock, and it's a really cool looking scene in the dark where they're driving down there. And Evil Cooper actually sends a very trusting Richard over to this spot to see if these numbers actually worked out and meant anything, and apparently not. Evil Cooper was just bringing him along as a test case to use him because of the extraordinary danger that these numbers, these coordinates will bring. And when he actually goes to these coordinates that he's received, Richard is killed. Richard Horne is dead, presumably. He gets electrocuted into nothingness. unless he's somehow survived in the lodge. I guess he's just dead at this point, which kind of feels unfortunate because I would have liked to see more of this character and really see. I mean, it's nice to see him get killed and get his comeuppance for being so evil, but it feels like we're kind of there could have been more to this evil character for a little bit longer. I would have liked to see more of him. But anyway, he gets electrocuted when he goes to these coordinate points that Cooper has been looking for, and Cooper was apparently just using him as a guinea pig to test if they were safe, and apparently they were not. Cooper mentions that he has Evil Cooper mentions that he has three coordinates, two of which are the same, one of which is different from the other two. And I don't know where he got the two coordinates that led him to this point that killed Richard, but they must have obviously been a trap where he was somehow set up by someone, by two sets of people to go to this place where he's going to be killed or brought back into the lodge. Who sent him the two coordinates to there? Was it Philip Jeffries and Mike? Because where did the third one come from? He also texts a number to Diane afterwards and says all, and then she gives him some numbers. But I don't know what exactly that means. What were the numbers that she gave him the right numbers this time, or was it another set of false numbers that someone had planted? I'm not really sure, but it's kind of sad to see such an evil, villainous character like Richard Horne just disappear and not really sort of get punished and brought to jail. I guess he was punished because he was killed, but I would have liked to have him hang around a little longer. That's all we get from Evil Cooper after this point. But Diane, on the other hand, we get a very interesting scene. It's been an important part of the show wondering whether Diane is good or evil all of this time, and we don't really know. Is she seems pretty evil and up to some evil stuff, but in this episode, she clearly is going to do something evil, but it turns out that she's actually a tulpa, the Diane that we've been seeing. She is some sort of construct that has been made by Evil Cooper to achieve his goals for something. And she's wandering around, not really knowing what's happening around her. She seems to be kind of fighting against whatever is going on around her, like her consciousness is still exerting something over this tulpa Diane, because she explains what happens to the good guys, to Gordon and Albert and Tammy, what had happened to her. And apparently she was raped by Evil Cooper, and maybe that's what brought her, and she was brought to the convenience store and then brought into the lodge. So we don't really know what happened to the original Diane. Is she dead? Is she somewhere in the lodge? Can she be retrieved? Can we get her out? And we don't really know. But the Diane we've been seeing this entire time is a tulpa. She's an evil Diane. And she is, the work that she's been doing for Evil Cooper has apparently been coerced in some way, because she doesn't quite want to do it. She seems to be kind of resisting it. So I'm still not entirely clear what is going on with Diane. I mean, we know that she was attacked by Evil Cooper. The Diane we've been seeing is a tulpa all of this time. But is the real Diane still alive? I want to know that. I mean, I kind of imagine that she's not, that she could be dead. But somehow this tulpa Diane was still there was some sort of force still exerting within it that was sort of animating it and trying to get it to tell the truth. It was scared and terrified when it was going to go tell Gordon Cole. It seemed to be torn, I mentioned in the last episode, between doing good and evil, and did contradictory things. Like, she was talking with Evil Coop, but also she was, revealing to Gordon and the others things that had been going on that they needed to know. So maybe she was just sort of being forced somehow. Her mind wasn't totally under her control. But anyway, that Diane is now gone, just as Dougie was. I guess, does that mean Dougie was a tulpa? I guess so. Well, anyway, we get a closing sequence here, which is amazing. The best closing sequence of the show yet, I think. Because we go to the Roadhouse, and we get to see Eddie Vedder, of all people, and they announced him by his full name that I didn't recognize. I never knew that was his real name, and Eddie Vedder was like a stage name that he used. I mean, talk about early 90s nostalgia. I mean, listening to Eddie Vedder and watching Twin Peaks. I mean, I can't think of getting any more 90s-ish than that. That's like the extreme 90s experience. But he was singing a great song there, and we get to see Audrey come in at the very end of the show, and I kind of thought, oh, I was wrong all this time. All those crazy theories that I had, and all those things I read on Reddit, they must have been wrong about Audrey. She was actually just she was in the real world this whole time, and everything was normal. Wrong. They faked us out. When they go in there, suddenly, out of nowhere, Eddie Vedder is gone, and the entire place starts moving to one side of the bar and announcing that Audrey's dance will now begin. And Audrey begins doing her little, like, weird dance to the music she listened to way back in Twin Peaks. And clearly, Audrey, I mean, I don't quite want to spoil what happened, but we see something going on with Audrey where she flashes away for a second to herself, looking at herself in the mirror in a very white, sterilized, almost like a mental hospital or something, as some people have theorized that she's really crazy. And Charlie is actually her psychiatric doctor that has been caring for her. And she has a different haircut, and she's looking at herself in the mirror. Something is going on. She's either involved with the lodge spirits or she's totally insane, and her rape by Evil Cooper made her completely insane. So that was an absolutely amazing ending, because we really are getting close to finding out what the heck is going on with Audrey. Is Dale going to have to find her when he goes to Twin Peaks? I don't know what's going on, but I'm absolutely loving the series. I'm loving what's going on. I love the way the show is going. We get to hear some of the original music. A lot of the original characters are back. They're going back to Twin Peaks. There's some sort of mystery involved with Evil Cooper and Diane going on here. I'm loving every second of it, and I can't wait to see the series finale next week. Showtime referred to it as the two-part finale. They didn't say series finale. They didn't say season finale. They just said finale. I mean, maybe my hopes are getting up there, but, maybe there will be a season 4. I mean, I never thought there was going to be a season 3, and who knows? Showtime recently said that that Twin Peaks: The Return was a major financial success. So, I know I didn't have Showtime before this, and I only got it because of this. So, I mean, I think this is going to be amazing. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more Twin Peaks content. I'm going to be reacting, of course, to the series finale next week, next Monday. And, I think we're all looking forward to that. It's going to be amazing. Please tell me what you think is going to happen in the comments, what you think is going on with Audrey. If you think that the original Diane was good and then is still alive somewhere, and this evil Tulpa Diane well, she's gone for good, but is the original Diane going to come back? Please tell me what you think is going to happen in the series finale. And if it is the series finale, maybe if we're going to get a season 4, and if we're not, tell me what you would like to see in a season 4. Thank you very much, and have a good day.